Welcome to the Redeemer Podcast. I'm your host, Zach, and today we are talking about Redeemer's Wellness Center. And I'm joined by Julie and Celeste from the Wellness Center to talk about this fantastic resource for Redeemer students. Oh, it's going to be a great episode. If it is your first time here, make sure to like and subscribe, share with a friend, and check out some of our other episodes that explore various aspects of Redeemer, Christian education, and so much more. Thank you for making us part of your day. And before we get into the interview, watch the top 5 reasons that you should visit the Redeemer Wellness Center if you're a Redeemer student.
If you haven't checked out the Wellness Center, here are 5 reasons why you should. Number 1. There's always a friendly face at reception to help you book an appointment with the nurse practitioner, mental health case manager, or counselors. Number 2. If you're looking for mental health support, the case manager can connect you with resources to help with stress, sleep, nutrition, and staying active. Number 3. If you're feeling sick or need a checkup, the nurse practitioner can help with everything from coughs, sore throats, prescription renewals, and other health concerns. Number 4. Life can feel heavy sometimes. If you need someone to talk to, counseling services are available. Number 5. Sometimes you just need a break. There are quiet spaces here with SAD lamps, puzzles, and books. Perfect for resetting when life gets stressful. So whether you're here for a checkup, support, or just a breather, the Wellness Center is a great place to take care of yourself.
And we're back with another episode of the Redeemer Podcast. I am so excited today. I hope you are all doing well if you are watching this from wherever you're working from, because today we are talking about the Wellness Center at Redeemer. And who better to join me than Celeste and Julie from the Wellness Center. Celeste, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Thank you.
Awesome. And Julie, welcome. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Well, I'm so excited, ladies, to talk about the Wellness Center today. I had the pleasure of getting a tour a couple months ago of the Wellness Center, and I realized this is a fantastic resource for students. We're going to dive into that today and kind of explore what it offers for Redeemer students, as a resource, as a care center on campus. But before we get into that, could we just start with Celeste, could you just talk about your role at Redeemer and within the Wellness Center?
Yeah, sure. So I serve as the administrative assistant for the student life department. So I do more than just Wellness Center stuff. I support all of the student life staff. So that, of course, includes our dean and associate dean, the Res Life staff, the Wellness Center staff, and others. So it's a great role. I do lots of different things, so it keeps me busy.
Okay, yeah, a lot of different hats you're wearing
Yeah.
there. Very cool. And Julie, about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm a nurse practitioner. So I am in the clinics and the wellness center, and I'm the director of student health and wellness. So what that really means is on a daily basis, I'm the one in the clinic providing the medical care to students who might come in.
Very, very cool, and I'm sure we'll talk more about that later, and which I'm excited to get to. So let's maybe start with what services can students access through the Wellness Center. For those who don't know, it's in Luther Court, or sometimes called Second Parking Lot, on campus at Redeemer, and it's a renovated space. It's still pretty new, but what are some of the services that can access? And Julie, are you the best person to kind of explain this?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Great. So first thing to know is we are located, like you said, in Luther Court, and sometimes students can't find us. But at the beginning of the year, all the new students and incoming students will get a tour and just to see where we are, because we are tucked right into a row of residents.
Right.
But it's pretty obvious when to get close, because we have a good sign and try to be welcoming. So at the Wellness Center, basically think of it as, you could think of it as like a walk-in clinic or like a primary healthcare clinic. So any of your medical concerns, so your health concerns about your physical health or your mental health. So we have like the medical aspect, and then we also have counseling and a
Mm.
triage position to help with people who come in with mental health concerns. So basically, we always kind of say to students, if you don't know, come in, and if we can't help you, we'll find the person who can or get you sent to the right spot.
Very, very cool. I would say that, as someone who went through university, you have those times that are just a little stressful, and you need someone to talk
Yeah.
to. You need that help, and it sounds like that's kind of the purpose of the wellness center. Am I correct in kind of going that way?
Yeah, yeah. So anything that comes up for students, anything that they might feel that they need to maybe go see their family doctor for, or they're wondering if they need medical care, this would be the place to come. So sore
Right.
throats, coughs, colds, abdominal pain, anxiety. Sometimes people, if they have a panic attack, might come. If you're struggling with depression or low mood, ADHD, earaches, bladder infections, really anything to do with your health, this is the place where you can come on campus.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And Celeste, do you have anything to kind of add to that or expand upon?
No, every now and then we have a student come in with maybe an emergency of some kind, and we have to just triage and help them find the right person to see. But otherwise, yeah, Julie covered everything, so it's great.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And what are some of so we talked about the services, but what would you say are some of the features of the center, like kind of the practical things that the center has that is available for students that need help?
Yeah, I'll start.
Okay, you go.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, first of all, the space is just lovely.
I
So,
love it. Yes.
yeah, and we have tried really hard to just create a really welcoming space. I'm actually in one of the counseling rooms,
Okay.
so you can kind of see how the space is set up, and it's just warm and welcoming. And there's another spot in the wellness center called we call it the lounge, wellness lounge, and so that's also a space, even if somebody just needed a quiet place to sit or a minute to do something to kind of reframe or refocus, there's a spot for that. But really, just in general, we try to say, come on in, and we'll help with whatever is needed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, yeah,
I'll
Julie,
add a little bit to that. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
So when students come into the wellness center, they'll be greeted by Celeste in the waiting area and the reception area. And from there, they might go on to see our mental health case manager, and that's Karen Lyle. So they might go to see Karen if they, have some questions about mental health or resources or are not sure of next steps. Or they might come to see me if they have like a medical concern or something with their physical health. Or they might have an appointment with one of the counselors. And as mentioned, that's the Christian Counseling Center, and the counselors are there every day.
Okay.
So either way, when they come in, if they're not sure, Celeste is there to greet them and to help them find the right person.
Well, that's really interesting. Thank you both for sharing. And I can't stress enough, this is just a fantastic resource for Redeemer students. But could we maybe talk about, like, is how old is the center? Like, it's still pretty new. Am I
Mhm,
correct,
mhm,
Julie, in saying that?
mhm. Yeah, so there was, I'm going to say it's been 5 years ago that we first opened a small clinic on campus. And that was really just the medical exam rooms, so the
Right.
clinical services. And then we had counseling elsewhere on campus. And this past year, we renovated. So we renovated last summer, so the summer of 2024, and we brought those together.
Okay.
And we did that because we believe that that offers better care for the
Yeah.
whole person, the whole student. So we're looking at their physical health and their mental health together. It helps us communicate as providers together, and it just makes it a little easier for students to find. It's kind of like, think of it as like one stop shop, kind of, right? So now it's together. Yeah, so that renovation happened, it was completed, and we moved into the space probably September, October of last year. And then we had our kind of official opening just after the new year. So yeah, it's
Okay.
still a new space.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic, and I'm sure it's been cool to see kind of that development along the way, and to what the amazing center it is now.
Yeah.
Um, what about it? You know, it. I guess this is probably seasonal, but how busy is this center? Like, what does the day to day operations kind of look like for the center?
Celeste, I'm going to let you take that
Okay.
one.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It gets really busy in here sometimes. There is a counselor in one of the counseling rooms every day of the week. So one of the CCC staff, which is the Christian Counseling Center staff, and they are on campus 5 days a week, at least one. And then of course Julie is here other days of the week, and also Karen. So sometimes when everything is going, it gets really busy.
Wow.
Yeah. So of course, right now, summertime, we don't have very much going on, um, but during the school year, it is a very well used space. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And is it as simple, like, if students want to book an appointment, do they just do that like through the Redeemer app, or do they come into the center?
Yeah, so the app is a great place to start. If they don't want to have to walk in, but when I'm in the reception area, I'm always available to help students make appointments.
Cool.
But yeah, the app. So we have a whole wellness center section of the app, and that's where they can find links to the Christian counselors, to Karen Lyle, or of course to Julie for medical services. So
Okay, very cool. Okay, well, again, I can't stress enough. I've probably said it a few times this episode. Just what a fantastic resource this is for Redeemer students. Julie, I do want to touch on a little bit. Do you have any kind of practical tips or advice for maintaining, good physical or mental health? I know those are kind of two separate topics, but any just sort of practical tips for Redeemer students, to maintain their physical and mental health?
Yeah, absolutely. I think kind of one thing that I always find when people come in and are struggling is often we just have to take it back to the basics of
Mm,
sleep.
mm,
So getting to bed and getting a routine. So sleeping, waking up at the same time, going to bed roughly at the same time. Eating, making sure people are eating their 3 meals and making sure they're having some sort of physical activity or outdoor time. So I know it sounds kind of basic or maybe like not that exciting, but often um, going back and getting those fundamentals in place
yeah.
already is a huge help for people.
Very cool. Yeah, that's fantastic. And hey, it's never a bad idea to go back to basics, right?
Right. Yeah, that's right.
um, So, one kind of final question I have here for you guys, and I know this is such a broad question, and I think back to my own time as a Redeemer student, and learning about just what wellness looks like. But what does wellness from a Christian perspective look like, right? And being a Christian university, we talk about things from a Christian worldview at all times, and we live in a culture where there's so much information about fitness and mental health, and wellness, and what it's supposed to look like. But from a Christian perspective, Julie, could you comment on just kind of what wellness looks like, and how we kind of promote wellness at Redeemer?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that kind of comes to mind right away is, thinking about your body as a temple and thinking about, taking care of your body. Yeah, I mean, that from a Christian perspective, I think that's really important. And then also thinking about, often I'll talk to students about when they're going through difficulties, if that is with their mental health or their physical health, about how, that journey and maybe how this is part of the journey God's bringing them on and where there's healing and restoration. And just knowing, right, that God is in control of that and that God restores.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there is opportunity, when you're going through either physical or mental health illness and challenge to kind of look at that in its bigger context and kind of viewing that through the lens of your faith. And it
Mm.
does bring a different perspective.
Definitely. Oh, fantastic. Well, um, you know, Julie, Celeste, it's been fantastic chatting with you guys about the Wellness Center. I look forward to visiting again in the future. And of course, if there's any students watching this, Celeste, do you have an invitation for them for our incoming class and returning students next year?
Yeah, absolutely. So as a just a human, but also as a mom who has sent her children away for university, I would just want students to know that this is a place that they can come and feel safe.
Hmm.
They can come and share any problem that they might have, and that this is where they will find help. And it's just it's a sweet space, so that they can get what they need. And of course, hopefully that also reassures any parents that might watch this, just that they can know that their child is going to get any help that they might need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Julie, anything to add for an invitation to our incoming class or our returning students or any future students at Redeemer?
Yeah, I think what Celeste said too. I can't help but think as a mom myself, but also I would just say as being a provider here, as a person who works here, that
Yeah.
it is such a it's such an honor to work with students, and
Mm,
it's so meaningful to kind
yeah.
of walk alongside students, whether they're struggling or they just need something, whether it's a small thing or a big thing. And so, yeah, I find it's meaningful. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both for coming on this episode of the Redeemer podcast. And if you're watching this and you want more information about the Wellness Center or Redeemer, feel free to email us at admissions@redeemer.ca, and we're happy to point you in the right direction. And yeah, as always, God bless, and we'll see you in the next episode.